And we are live, back again. Stefan Harris, episode 19. How you doing, my brother?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing good. That's my new thing now, by the way.
Yeah.
Trying to fist bump everyone. You know,
Nice.
COVID. You just never know.
Yeah.
You were actually supposed to be the first episode back
Yes,
when we
I
first
was.
started. Me and you did about an hour and a half, hour 45, somewhere in there. And there was a power outage.
We had some technical difficulties.
And then when we continued, we thought we had a cool conversation. And then you left and I checked it and there was no audio at all.
Yeah.
It was only video. And here's
really
the worst.
Sucked.
Here's the worst part is it was April 1st. And so
I know.
I had to text Stefan, my bad, it didn't record. And
I seriously thought it was an April Fool's joke.
that was my fear. And I think I even texted you like, I'll totally tell you again tomorrow if I have to.
Yeah. I remember that. And I woke up the next morning thinking, I really hope that was an April Fool's joke, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it was not. But we're doing a redo.
Yes.
And you were the first ever person on here, and this is your third time on, if we don't count that extra one that never aired. So how you been, man?
I've been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, been
we
good.
Had, we had graduation this weekend.
Yeah, that was
congratulations
that was
to
fun.
Laura, got her master's.
Laura, good job.
Yeah. And
We're all so proud of you.
yeah, Stefan's really proud of you.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Let's pick it up a little bit.
Okay.
Weird moment for a joke, huh? We are proud of you. I am. I don't think Stefan is. No, so we had a blast. We had the graduation in Silver City for the actual ceremony. We came back here and then we had the party, which went relatively well.
Yes.
But there was an incident.
In the beginning,
I think
yes.
we should talk about it.
Yeah.
For the people that didn't get to go, or the people that did go, that want to hear about it again. So we were hanging out and we got there early to do decorations. And Laura was, I was in and out. And so at one point I left to get the cake.
Mhm.
And I think you know some of the story, but maybe not the beginning of it. Like how
just know that you guys that Laura and Daniela were decorating.
yeah.
And
And I guess this guy offered to help because it was really windy and things were blowing off of the table.
Yeah.
And I guess he offered to help put up some decorations. And of course, you know, Laura's like the nicest person in the world. So
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, apparently guy was completely normal and very helpful. And I guess at one point during the night, he had gotten a little bit out of hand. And I wasn't there for this part, but I guess he got cut off from drinking because they thought he was drinking too much.
well, I was told that after they were done setting up that he left
Mhm.
for a while and then came back.
Well, he was outside. Yeah, he didn't leave the actual place, though. I think he went around the back.
Okay.
Because later on, the DJs told me, like, hey, I saw that guy smoking some stuff. So essentially, for the people listening, he got out of hand and they thought he was drinking too much. So they cut him off. He turns on Laura,
Yes.
thinking that she worked there or something. Like, I helped you out. And he used some language I won't repeat. But he ends up getting wild. And
Yeah, he
everyone
did.
comes up to me and like, hey, this guy's drinking too much. So I thought he was drinking too much. I took his bottle. He had a water bottle, but it was like a refillable one that was, you couldn't see
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was in there. I thought maybe he was sneaking vodka or something. So I took his water bottle and I just took it away from him and I poured it out. And I remember it didn't have a scent. So I think it was water.
Yeah.
And that was my first sign. I'm like, all right, like, you know what I mean? Like he's obviously drinking water. And then I'm like, oh, like, I don't think he is drunk. I think he's on some other stuff.
Yeah.
And,
that's what I thought.
Yeah. His eyes were wide open. He was causing a big scene.
He was really wild. He was just, he was all over the place.
And I asked him politely, I said, hey man, it's my fiance's graduation. Like you're causing a lot of trouble. Can you just leave? And he was cussing me out. He was in my face, like beat me up, mother effer and da-da-da. And I was pushing him back because I didn't want him to breathe on me.
Yeah.
And at
he
one
got
point,
in a lot of people's face that night.
At one point I just started laughing. And so I was, because I realized there was no communicating with this guy. And I'm like,
it was like talking to a wall. Like
I told him, hey man, you either got to leave or I'm going to help you leave. And what did he say? He put his hands down and he looks at me and he said, carry me out or something like that.
Yeah, he told you to carry him out.
Carry me out. And I
was,
just started laughing. And that was the point where I was like, all right, this guy's like, he's way smaller. There's no point of a fight here.
Yeah, and we kept telling him either you leave on your own or we'll be forced to call the cops.
And the whole time they had the cops on there. Yeah. So they were on their way. And I left it alone. I said, stay in your corner. He didn't. He ended up coming back. A bunch of the girls tried talking to him. I was more nervous that he would scratch or bite or do something like that.
Yeah.
So I was telling people to leave him alone. He ends up getting slowly pushed out by all the people there, right? Like,
I was one of the ones who pushed him out.
Yeah. And then my little brother got in his face too. Tells him, chill out and smoke this cigarette. And he says, don't you ever offer me a cigarette.
Yeah.
And then my little brother tried to fight him. He's like, I'll beat you up. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, that guy told your brother, he said, don't you ever offer me a cigarette. cigarettes will kill you. Are you trying to kill me? Like he was definitely off the walls. Like,
yeah, it was wild. The cops ended up
I'm
coming.
pretty sure he had smoked some stuff that's worse than a cigarette.
Worse than a cigarette.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the words I'm looking for.
He is right. Cigarettes will kill you. So
yes.
We'll give him that.
Yeah.
And then so they end up coming. The cops come there. They had him out there for a while. As guests were coming in, like Chris came in and he's like, "What's up with the guy outside?" I guess he ended up like punching and kicking the cops.
Yeah, he
the cars,
kicked one of the cops,
and they're yelling like, "I want to tase you."
Yeah. Yeah, and that was another thing he kept yelling before. He said, "Call the cops, have them tase me, I don't care." And we were all just trying to tell him, like, dude, just calm down. We don't have to call the cops. If you just leave, we can avoid all that.
I will say that is the most calm that I've been in a while, and I gave myself props for it afterwards.
I give you props for that also.
I am not that guy in the past. And granted, I haven't been in a lot of positions to even test that recently. And I've worked really hard on staying calm and like thinking about the moment. It's Laura's graduation. That's all I kept thinking about was like, I don't want to ruin this day for her.
Yeah.
And I afterwards, I'm like, hey, I did pretty well there, man. I never once.
And apparently, like, the guy was in love with Laura, apparently, because he kept saying, "Oh, I love her. I love her."
Well, he has good taste, that guy. Yeah, he did end up saying that. But look, I really hope he got help at the end of it. I'm glad that no one in our group like had any physical altercation with him. In the sense that someone got hurt.
Yeah, nobody got hurt. Nothing got destroyed.
Maybe the police officers, like I don't know. Shout out police. I know they're not in the best light right now, but I really appreciate them removing that person. And I really do hope he got help because I feel like maybe he did just overdrink or combination of both. Yeah. He for sure had some other stuff too. Cause that was definitely, I've overdrank a lot in my life and my eyes don't get wider. They get really small. Yeah. And so I'm like, this guy is out of his mind.
Yeah. He was definitely on something else.
But that was maybe the first hour of the event. Yeah. And then the rest of the 4 hours were super fun.
Yeah,
everyone
amazing.
had a great time.
Everybody was dancing, everybody had a good time.
Yeah. I would call it a success.
Yes. Yes. The food truck that was there, it was awesome. I had some birria tacos.
I never had the tacos.
They were so good.
I had the elote and it was so hot. And everyone kept making fun of me. I'm like, I know I'm white, but I eat hot stuff, man. This stuff is really hot. And I was so hungry. And I didn't drink at all because I knew that would be a bad idea without eating. And so my meal was the elote, which was so hot that even after I ate it, I didn't drink. Because I was like, yeah, dude. So that whole event that we're talking about, like everyone like had some drinks and stuff. I was completely sober.
Oh, wow.
Except for that elote, which kind of made me feel a little drunk. That's how spicy it was, man. And then even after I ate it, I'm like, it messed with my stomach a little bit, not in a bad way, but I was like, I didn't feel quite full, but it also was a weird
feeling.
Yeah, crazy. That's how you quit drinking, I think. For all the people out there that are struggling, really spicy elotes.
Elotes, well,
it's the key, man.
Yeah, that's the secret.
Yeah,
I think.
Where's that Mansers episode? Or what's the one where Mythbusters?
Mythbusters.
Is it true elotes can solve your substance abuse problems?
Your drinking problems.
What they say in New Mexico.
Right.
It'd be a good episode. It was fun, man. I had a blast that night. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, I definitely had fun. I will say I haven't danced in a long time, and
a lot of dancing.
Yeah, I realized how out of shape I was because I got winded really quick.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
These steps to get in here?
Yeah, I got winded really quick. And yeah, I for some reason I thought a beer would give me oxygen into my lungs, so I was like, I can't breathe. I need a beer. So
yep, that makes no sense, but sure.
Yeah, it doesn't. But apparently, in my mind at that moment, that was the logical.
Girl, this will help my dancing.
Yes.
A lot of people dance, and it's funny that you said that. Like I hadn't danced in a while. Every time I danced, my intent for that night was to not dance. Like I've never been like, I just need to dance, man. Like I've never like had that, or like I'm open to start that day. I think Laura told me like, make sure you wear good shoes, and I'm like, I'm not dancing. Like I don't care like where it happens. Like you guys dance, and I'm
not going to dance. You can't make me.
Yeah, and yeah, pretty much how it was. And sure, and I wore boots and everything too. Like so I'm like, I'll just be like the boots. Like that's why. Sure enough,
nobody dances in boots.
We're all dancing. Yeah. That's how it always happens. And it was super fun, man. Everyone had a blast. At one point, there were some ladies that I didn't even recognize that joined the dance circle, and they were getting it, man. They must have been like teachers or something. They look like accountants, maybe.
Accountants or teachers.
They're very similar. They all hang out, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. It was like a group of them.
Yeah.
What would you, if you had to guess their career?
I
think one was a librarian.
A librarian.
But but also like a accountant, like a librarian accountant.
Like an accountant for the library?
Like a librarian that really likes numbers more than like letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of those. What's your guess?
I don't know, honestly. The accountant was actually pretty good.
Stefan.
I don't know.
You did have that extra drink. I want to dance with that accountant.
Yeah.
/ librarian. / I don't know what she does.
She looks like she's good with numbers.
Yeah, and I love numbers.
Yeah.
I'll give her mine.
Yeah.
But she'll figure out how to call me. It was a blast, man. I like having events like that because it's like, it was kind of cool because not everyone in that, like, I have groups of friends. I have like this group and that group, and then Laura has her friends, and rarely do we all get to hang out in one spot.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of cool to see everyone's interactions.
Yeah, everybody got along. Like, everybody had a good time. Like, that was really, really good to see.
And I've never had a graduation because I never graduated high school. And so I was like, I don't know what the little party. I obviously probably went to a few graduation parties, but never to celebrate the person, only because I thought there might be some extra drinks or something.
Yeah, just because like somebody told us, hey, there's a graduation party. Like, we're like, okay, there's alcohol.
I was truly excited for it, man. Even like all the way up to the moment of it. Like granted, there's a lot of work that went into it, like a lot of running errands and setting stuff up, but I was genuinely proud of Laura, and I was excited to make the event as fun as possible. And I think that that was part of the reason why I didn't want to start a fight with that guy when he was acting crazy. So like, nothing is going to ruin this night, like for Laura. So it's a thin line of like, well, if this guy gets crazy and hits Laura, that would also ruin the night. Yes. But if I hit him, then I ruin the night. Yeah. Like, I really hope there's no hitting involved in this. Yeah. But it worked out. But yeah, I really was proud of her. And then I tried to give a speech. I didn't go so well.
No, your speech was good. Was it? Everybody liked it. Like, I liked your speech.
I had like a bunch of stuff to say. I do that a lot in my life where I'm like, oh yeah, like, and then none of it goes down.
Nothing comes out.
But I gave a decent start of the speech, and I got a little emotional. And being a man, and men don't show emotions, I was like, I better stop. Let's wrap this up. Right. And let's all cheers.
Right. Cheers. Party's over. Go home.
I don't even remember what I said. I hope someone recorded it. Probably not. But it'd be cool. I think I made it.
Blacked out?
Yeah, I blacked out. Sober blacked out. I just don't remember what I said. I just remember saying congratulations. Something about toast. I think I made a joke about toast. Yeah. Yeah, you did. Apparently it killed though.
Yeah, it did actually.
Totally could be a comedian.
Yeah, I think you're on your way.
I think I'm on my way to giving the next toast at the next graduation. That's about it.
Which would be whose graduation?
I don't know, man. Step your game up, dude. Maybe my own. I'm not giving my own toast.
No.
Out of our group, who would give the toast, do you think? Do you think you could do it?
I could.
You think you could do it? What would you say? Let's try it right now.
What would I say?
Yeah, let's role play real quick, but like non-sexually. Not a sexual graduation. If I was graduating and you were giving the toast, pick it up from here.
Well, no, I don't want to say it now.
Well, you probably won't remember this. Or maybe you kill it. I will. Maybe you kill it at the actual toast and I show you this video of you messing up on the podcast.
No, because for me, a toast like that, something I would need to like think about. But
that's exactly what I did, and I didn't like none of it came out. As someone who recently did this, I'm just telling you that doesn't always.
Well, that's
work
why
out.
you write it down.
Are you schooling me on what I could have done better with this toast?
I mean, if that's the way you want to take it.
You don't want to give the toast, don't give the toast, man.
I am going to give the toast.
No, it's cool.
Yes,
if you don't want to give me a fake toast right now, I'll totally forgive you.
Oh, I do want to bring up also that night, another highlight was, okay, so this is, I guess you want to say the backstory on it. We were out at a club 2 years ago.
I think it was it was my 28th birthday and I'm 31. So I think it was.
Was it 3 years ago?
3 years ago, going on 3 years.
No, it was, okay, yeah, because it was in 2018.
Okay.
So 3 years now. We were at a club, and then I think we were leaving the club, and all of our group that we were with decided that, we were going to take a picture. And then all of a sudden we noticed that there was some random guy in our picture.
He was hammered, that guy.
Yeah, he was definitely hammered.
Took a group picture and he jumped in at the end.
Yeah, he jumped in at the end, We actually ended up, I think we talked to him for a little bit afterwards.
He was so drunk. Here's the backer story that even before the picture thing. I remembered him from in the bar because they cut him off. And my friend was the bartender.
Yeah.
And the guy that got cut off looks over at me and asked me to buy him a drink right in front of the bartender. And my friend looked at me like, no. Like,
no, it's not going to happen.
At the time, like I was really I was really buzzed. Probably drunk. All right.
Yeah.
And I wanted a cigarette. And I told the guy, give me a cigarette and I'll get you a beer. And he agreed. And I ended up getting him the beer from my friend.
Wow.
And he never gave me the cigarette. I think he never had any. And so that already I was like, whatever. This guy's just drunk acting crazy. So that was the backstory to that.
Yeah,
I knew him in the club. So he ends up hopping in the picture afterwards.
Yes. And so we always we had this picture with this random guy in our picture, and we actually named him Random Guy.
And when you posted, that's what it was. Everyone was commenting like, who is that guy? I'm like, at the time I didn't put together those stories. I'm like, yeah, who is that guy?
Yeah.
And so he kind of became the Random Guy.
Yeah. So he became the Random Guy. And then Laura's graduation party, we're all having a good time. And then you actually came up to me and said, hey, doesn't that guy look familiar?
But I got to give credit to Kayla, because Kayla
was the one who
Okay, and then I think I went and told you.
Okay, yeah.
And she said, is that the guy? And I was like, holy crap, it is.
It is.
And then I was like, no, let's make sure. And so we start searching for the photo. Because I remember every year in the memories it would pop up.
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, did we ever figure out who that guy is?
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find it. And Chris Alvarez found it on his.
Yes, Chris found it.
And then we looked and saw it. And then we ran up to him. We're like, this is you. And he's like, again, wasted. Yeah, this is me. We're like, we found him.
Yeah, we found our random guy again. Turns out his name is Miles.
Very nice guy, I hope. I don't know. He's only said 10 words through 2 interactions.
Yeah.
It's mostly hammered.
2 greets. But yeah, he just happened to show up that night, and it was, we took another picture.
Yep.
With him.
Before and after.
Yeah.
That is up on our Facebook. If you want to check it out.
Yeah.
How crazy is that he would just wander in there that day?
Yeah. Yeah. Like that specific day, like while all of us are there, and he just happened to wander in.
Yeah. That's going to be one of those stories for a while.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It would have been even better if it was like 10 years. And then we saw him.
You never know.
Maybe we'll see him in 10 more.
Maybe it'll be like a 2-year thing. Like,
what if we run into him sober one time and he's just like, hi, my name is Miles. And he's just like a normal guy.
Yeah.
I was looking over the stock market reports, and I hope we start advocating for lions to be saved.
Right.
Like, whoa, you're way different than
Pork
the first
bellies have gone up 3 points.
I'm really aware. What if he remembered everything exactly? Yeah, I wish I could explain how. Maybe he's just a weird guy. You know, some people they're already kind of weird,
naturally weird,
and then when they drink, they're like, oh, like that guy's like a character from King of the Hill.
Weirdness is elevated.
Like Boomhauer. He reminded me of Boomhauer. Not damn Boomhauer. He didn't have like a personality.
Yeah.
Even the whole time when we're all freaking out, he's just kind of like soaking it in. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why am I so popular right now? Like, I don't think he understood why we're happy.
Kayla was telling me apparently like before he was like, he kept talking about that he makes leather gloves, work gloves or something like that.
Glove guy she was calling him.
Yeah, she was calling him glove guy.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what she told me, is that like he was talking about how he makes like leather gloves or something.
Well, that's not creepy. I wonder why he's always by himself.
Right.
That's how the murderers are.
Yeah.
Just asking for gloves with strangers. But yeah, random thing that happened, and altogether made for a cool graduation.
Yeah. Yeah. It ended up being really fun. And yeah, everybody had a good time.
Did you get any phone numbers, Stefan?
I didn't.
Is that a thing? Do single people? I haven't been single in so long. Is that like an accomplishment still? Dude, got her number.
Or I don't know.
Snapchat maybe?
I mean, I
got her address, man. I just asked, and I'm gonna write her next week.
I asked her what her MySpace name was. She never told me. So,
do you remember when Colin used to get addresses?
Yeah, that was like
his thing. He's like, dude, anyone can get a chick's number. You got to get addresses.
Yeah,
and so he just had these girls' addresses.
I know, like that wasn't weird. Like instead of asking for a girl's number, you ask where she lives.
Hey, what's weirder, that he did that or it worked?
I'm surprised that it worked.
This is proof that you should just talk to strangers. If you're a single guy, just talk to a bunch of girls, because he got these girls to give them their address.
Yeah.
And I watch a bunch of videos, like I follow a bunch of YouTube people where they go and they hit on girls in public and they record it and film it.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of dumb stuff they do and still get the number at the end blows my mind.
Yeah.
The girl's like, yeah, call me. I saw one where she had like a boyfriend or a fiance and they're getting married. And she never did anything at the end. He's like, well,
was it the
it's a guy named Angry Picnic is the name of the YouTube channel, but a bunch of guys do it. But
was it one of those like gold digger videos?
No, maybe the same guy did one, but this wasn't that video. But at the end of it, he ends up telling the girl, hey, we can be friends. Like your boyfriend doesn't mind if you have friends, right? And that's like when you tell a girl that, she's like, that's the one thing girls want to be possessed. Yeah. Possessed, like not spiritually. They don't want to be an item. Yeah. And so they're like, yeah, like I could have friends. Like, and they always, and then he got the number anyways. And then at the end, he's like, hey, well, like just call me when you guys like are about to break up. And she's like, okay.
Oh, wow.
And then like the amount of people that like still give him the number and stuff. I'm like, I'm just saying.
Oh, wow.
I haven't been single for so long. But I got some tips, man. Ask everyone for their number.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get, because not everyone you're going to get with, but if you have 10 numbers, one's got to pan out, right?
Yeah. 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. I think it's probably a bad
those
percentage.
Good odds.
Yeah. But better than none, right? 0 out of 0. 1 out of 10 is better. Not like,
what's the saying? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take?
Yeah, I think it's a Michael Jordan like thing, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think he said that. You know, those memes online where it's like, your angel might become the devil if you don't treat her like God. And then they put like Drake on the back. I'm like, he never said that. Like, why did you put Drake's picture on the back? Pretty sure he didn't say that.
Yeah.
Then I have to Google it just in case he did.
Yeah.
But maybe we can do one of those.
Mm.
Yeah. Make a meme for you.
A meme for me.
Yeah. You're just being meme.
Right. You're really memey right now.
Do you remember people called them memes or memes when they first came out?
Yeah.
People didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
Now it's meme for sure, right? Is it meme? Yeah.
Or GIF and GIF.
And Giphy and Jiffy. That's what we call Jeff when he's too wasted. Calm down, little Giphy.
Right, little Giphy.
Little Giphy Padilla.
Yeah. Yeah, so like now like I have this group of friends that I hang out with. Adriana, Christian, like Shelby, Jay, like there's a couple of us that
what's their socials? Give them a shout out. Social security numbers.
Right. Social security numbers, addresses.
But do you have their addresses? Oh, you stole my joke. All right, keep going.
But we all like hang out together, and it's funny because like whenever we have new people that like come and hang out with us, for some reason those people always think that me and Adriana are together, which we're not.
Why though? What are you doing for people to say that?
I honestly don't know. Like we're really good friends. We're best friends. Like I mean, we're not like hanging on each other or anything like to give people the idea that we're together, but I'm still trying to figure out what we do that makes.
So here's a good test. The next time you're hanging out, someone says that, just be like, "How did you know?" That's how rumors start. But just so you can like get it, like, well, I could tell. Like that way you can figure out what it is.
Yeah, but it's funny because this has happened twice already. That somebody new comes to our group, hangs out, and they ask if we're together, and then of course, we tell them no, we're not together. But for some reason, then they ask me if I'm gay, which I'm not. But like, is that the only?
Do you ever switch it up quick? You're like, you know what? I am with Adriana. we love each other.
No, I've never done that. But it's just funny to me to think that like, oh, if I'm not with Adriana, then I must be gay. Like, is that like? I mean, like, you don't think I like just could be single? Like, I'm not.
What a weird conversation though. Like, who just says like, are you with her? No. Oh, then you're gay.
Yeah, like I don't understand like what's the logic of if I'm not with somebody, I'm gay.
Maybe you're just giving off gay vibes.
I feel like I'm not.
I don't think it's up to you. I don't think it's how vibes work. You don't just get to pick how you vibe.
No, well, I don't know.
Let's ask the listeners. If you're watching this and you think Stefan's gay, leave a comment down below. Tell me why.
Why do you think if I'm not with somebody, why do you think I would be gay?
Is that insulting to you though, or is that kind of like funny?
No, I think it's funny. It's not insulting. Like I really don't care.
Trying to get you caught up online, man.
No,
trying to get you canceled.
Get me canceled.
I don't know how that works. I want to cancel someone,
right? No, but like I said, I don't understand.
Yeah. Just play it off next time. One of the two. You either have to go with being with Adriana or just go with the gay thing.
Go with being gay?
See which one feels better, man.
What?
You don't think that's fair? You don't think you owe that to yourself?
I really don't. I don't think I do.
Could you, if you were a movie star, could you play a role as a gay person?
As a gay person? As far as like just acting gay or like actually like no, like I mean like are you talking about like kissing a man on screen?
Well,
like,
I would assume what movie would there be where like but you guys are just like you'll be really friendly and that's it. Like let's say it's Brokeback Mountain.
Oh God.
And Heath Ledger passed away way earlier and it's you and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh God.
But it's not like a stranger, it's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, because Jake Gyllenhaal isn't a stranger to me.
I feel like here's my theory on this. It's easy to say no, right? Because there's no reason. But I'm sure, like, if Jake Gyllenhaal wasn't an actor, he'd be like, no.
And you're getting paid millions of dollars?
Well, the money part of it, too. But also, like, I feel like the people that do, like, both those guys, Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal, they're like method actors. They're really, really good.
Yeah.
So to them, it literally is a role. And they probably get lost in the character. And, like, they can pull something off like that different than the other roles they've been doing. So I feel like the easy answer would be no, I wouldn't do that. But I think if you were a really good actor, it'd be like a milestone. And you're like, I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Honestly, I probably, if I was an actor and like they asked me, hey, we have a role for you, but it's a gay character. I mean,
you would be like, well, what does he do?
I would ask
what's
like,
his name? Let's start there.
What's his?
It's a cool name.
What's his address?
What's his address? Like your characters? It's really important. Don't ask me. It's a thing I do.
Just answer the question.
If you were an actor, though, like what kind of movie do you think you'd gravitate towards? Like an action, a comedy, a horror? If you could only do one, if someone like your whole life, you do a comedy?
Comedies.
And what would be we talked about this a little bit on the last one, last podcast. What would you, what kind of comedy character would you want to be? I'll give you mine. I've always wanted, that was my answer too. I've always wanted to be in a comedy and I wanted to be like a complete moron. Like just the guy that does the dumbest stuff. Like, and they're like, that guy can't be like real. Like, cause I would just do the most outrageous dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but I want my character to be like not all there. Like just like the dumb one. You know, like comedy was always some idiot, but it's hilarious. That's my role.
Ah, okay.
I want to be the guy that like can't understand doorknobs and stuff. Like
can't understand doorknobs.
Just get caught like in places.
Like why can't you pull a doorknob? Why do you always have to turn it?
Why don't windows have doorknobs? They're exits.
Right? Why aren't there window knobs?
Why do they slide up, man? I bet in other countries they do. What would be your comedic character?
Like my
your
type of comedy?
Would it be like an intellectual, like hilarious guy, or would it be like an idiot? Would it be like
I feel like I would want to be like a idiot, like a smart ass.
There you go. That's one.
Type
very sarcastic.
Like I would say my favorite one of my favorite comedic actors is Ryan Reynolds. I love his style of comedy. Like
he will always be Van Wilder in my head. That's like any movie, even like Deadpool. I'm like, it's Van Wilder in an outfit.
In a costume.
Always see him. Has he done a serious movie that you can think of? Because even like in Blade, his character was comedic. So like even in serious
Safe House
movies
with Denzel Washington. That was
sounds hilarious.
No, he played a serious character. He did really good.
Really?
That's also so Ryan Reynolds and Denzel Washington are my like top two favorite actors.
I'm so glad you picked a white guy and a black guy.
Yeah.
Just to keep it even.
Yeah, diverse.
I'm trying to think of my favorite white actor is probably, I'm still a huge Jim Carrey fan. I think I'll always be a
Jim Carrey for life. Yes.
But even though he hasn't done anything recently, I'll still give it to him. And then Denzel would be up there. I'm trying to think of I like Idris Elba a lot. I think that guy's a really good actor.
Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell's not black, man. I was talking about black people.
No, you said you're a white actor.
I already picked a white one. I was trying to think of the black one.
But you said Denzel and then you said Idris Elba.
And then you said Will Ferrell.
Yeah, so you said a white actor and
that's
two
new.
black actors, so I just introduced another white actor
Equality.
to even,
I like
even it out.
2 and 2.
There you go,
4.
man. I'm looking out for you.
You're uncancelable. I'm trying to cancel you the whole time. You just keep coming through with equality, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You even
It's
said you
all
play a
about
gay
equality.
character. You're looking good right now, man. How
Thanks,
are
man.
you still single?
I don't know, because apparently people think I'm gay. If I'm not with Adriana.
All right,
So
let's talk about this a little bit, because it's actually like an interesting topic. And I want you to be as honest as you can be.
Okay.
Without, just take that however you want.
Okay.
Why are you still single? What are you doing wrong here, buddy?
What am I doing wrong? I'm honestly, I've been single 5 years now, I believe. And I still cannot figure out why. Like why I'm still single. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I honestly don't know.
Could be the hand thing.
Yeah,
That was a little weird.
This could be,
Turn me off right away.
right?
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
On a more serious note, here's a good starting point. And I've been like working on this with myself, and I work on this with people that I work with at work. But it's very easy to figure out what's wrong with other people, right? 'Cause we're very visual and we're very objective when it's other people, at least for the most part. But when it comes to ourselves, we're very, very biased, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really, really hard to like try to figure out what you can do differently. And this works as a single person. I'm sure it definitely works in my relationship when me and Laura have differences.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to figure out why Laura upset me or whatever, I have no control over Laura.
Mm-hmm.
So I let all that go.
Clearly.
She's a wild one. I have no control over her, and I don't want any control over her. I don't want to have a relationship where I'm dictating what she's doing and how she's doing it.
And I've always felt that way also. Like, I don't want to be like, I don't understand how guys are so controlling over their women.
Yeah, I can see it. I don't agree with it, but I see why it happens. But I'm just saying that I like to look at myself, and I'm guilty of doing this. As I say it, like, of course, I've been like, well, you need to close the cabinets when you're done. Like, whatever we're fighting over, whatever we're arguing about. But I try to look at me because I only have control over me. So I try to objectively break down what was my role in this.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's like, I didn't do anything wrong, I had a role in it. What could I do differently? Maybe it was the way I presented the facts. Granted, maybe she shouldn't have got upset, right? I'm making up a situation here, but maybe I could present them better, right? So instead of sitting there thinking of all of the ways she could do better at stuff, I try to just focus on my stuff. And the reason why I bring this up is, as a single person, 5 years, like something, it's fair to say that you've made attempts at relationships that didn't work out. And obviously some of them aren't your fault. Some of them are maybe combinations of both of those for all of them, right? But a good place to start would be to look at yourself and think, or kind of objectively go like, what do I have control over? What can I do differently? Have you ever done anything like that when it comes to like anything remotely like that, where you're breaking down what your role is in it? I think I figured out a good starting point for you, because I know we're joking a lot, but that's like that is always the best place to start. Like, what is my role in this? Where am I meeting these girls? What am I saying to them?
Because
what can I do differently?
So I have noticed that like a lot of the girls that like I've shown interest in, a common thing is, oh, well, I just got out of a relationship, I'm gonna work on myself. Like, I'm not, trying to, talk her to date anybody right now. So I've noticed that's been my luck. I think that's like,
I don't think that's true. I just talked about that with the pranks. Remember, like, I have a boyfriend. They still get the number at the end. Yeah. So what I'm saying is it's the same thing with cars. I talked about this on one of the last episodes, where it's like everyone's just looking for a car. Like, I don't need help. I'm just looking. And then I sell them a car. Like, it's the same thing with girls. I think they're saying like, I'm not looking for a relationship. People in relationships start other relationships and then end those, right? Like, while they're in the relationship, that happens, right? Yeah. So I'm not saying to go out and destroy relationships, but I'm saying when people say that, it's a safety net. So I'm just telling you that, like, every girl, every person that's telling you, like, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, I think they already predetermined that like through that part. So maybe think past that. Like, why do you think someone would be thinking like, I'm not looking for a relationship? All that really means, again, being objective, right? Yeah. Is they're not looking for a relationship with you. That's really what they're saying. But girls are nice, right?
I mean, I've also had some women tell me, "Oh, I'm not looking for a relationship," and then like a few weeks later, they have a new boyfriend.
Yeah,
Like,
so that's proof that like that's kind of. But you can't. What do you expect? Like the same way the person in the car lot saying they're just looking. These people are just saying what they feel.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm saying that is like
but I mean, like I feel like I'm a nice guy. I'm funny. Like
yeah, I would agree.
I always say this. My past relationships, I've learned a lot from. I've learned how to be like positive in a relationship.
Yeah.
I've also learned how not to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And you know, I just feel like I try and present myself as somebody who is a good guy, who's nice, funny. Like I can possibly be a better guy than your ex was to you. Whatever the reason why you guys broke things off or whatever. But like I love to cook.
So you're doing it again, by the way. You're telling me all the wonderful things about Stefan. Well, then why are you so single, man? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and see, I don't. That's why I don't understand why.
Look, this is a cool kind of moment, right? Because you're right. There's nothing you said I disagree with. Mm-hmm. You are funny. You are fun to be around. You're a great cook. Yeah. You've learned a lot from relationships. You definitely would treat a girl right. You're not an asshole. So what are you even focusing on those things for? Because that's obviously not the issue, right? Mm-hmm. So you're telling me all these things that you are, which I agree with that you are. So what aren't you? Like if you're being honest with yourself, like is there a starting point? Like
I'm not tall enough.
Maybe you could get knee
get my knees done.
Yeah, whatever they call that. I think they put like a brick in there. No, but you get what I'm saying? It's like I'll go with myself, for instance, right? And try to think of this stuff while I'm talking to you about it. Because with me, I was in relationships before, Laura, and people ask me, why is it working out so well now? There's things I wasn't before. And trust me, I was with some girls that were terrible. I've been cheated on. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, I don't know, I was awesome and they cheated. No, I was very insecure in the relationship where I cheated, which is probably combined with the things that she was already going through, why she cheated. Yeah. But I was always like trying to figure out where she was. I was so scared that she would cheat, that she cheated. Yeah. And so it's like there's things where I'm like, and then I also wasn't self-sufficient. I didn't have my own vehicle. I mean, I didn't have a good job, and at points, no job. You know what I mean? I wasn't. I didn't have any ambition because I thought that I talked about this in older episodes. I wasn't sure that I would live like to be this long. Yeah. So I never had ambitions, right? So these are all things that I worked on, right? And I also had very poor boundaries, and this is hard for a guy to admit because I'm not a cheater, but I had poor boundaries with people, meaning like the way you like the flirtatious things you could do, right? Your interactions, you're putting yourself in positions to make the other person uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'd be very easy for me if I was self-righteous to be like, well, I never cheated, so I'm good. Like, no, I didn't. But look, there's parts of my friendships that I had with people that would make someone that I'm with feel bad. So I had to learn how to have friends. I had to learn how to have good boundaries. And same thing with like my guy friends. Yeah. Like I have to learn how to prioritize the girl I'm with over those things, but still make time for them later. Right. Yeah. So these are all things I had to work on, and I had to get a job. I had to get a car. I had to have a dream. I had to learn how to speak right.
Cause like I've also been told like, oh, well, don't, be friends with the girl first, or vice versa. Girls with guys, like be friends with them first. Like, but like I've noticed that like, I guess I'm too good of a friend because I get put in that friend zone. Like I've been also told, oh, well, I don't want to lose the friendship that we have. I don't want to mess that up. So like that I'm stuck in the friend zone again.
So
and
you're right. Maybe, so you're onto something there, right? Like, because I mean, me and Laura were
like
friends.
Should I just be a bad friend? Like, I don't know.
I don't think you should be a bad friend either, but I think that people, and I don't know, this is why it's up to you to like look at yourself, right? Because I can only guess, but I think people want to, there's got to be a sense of independence, in the sense of like, not in the traditional, like I have my own house, my own car, work 2 jobs, you a bad broad. That bad music reference. INDEPEN. No, not in the sense of like independence and those things. What I mean, like in the sense of like, I like you, I like being around you, but I'm just fine as well. I think people can read the confidence and they can go, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship, but you're cool. You're interesting. Someone to spend some time with you. You know what I mean? And they register that and they understand there's a fine balance when you meet someone where you don't want to be overbearing, but you also don't want to be not interested because then you're just some person in the room.
Yeah.
So there's a balance there, but getting back to that subject, so what do you think what are some things, the way that I listed off some things that like specific things I needed to get better at to not repeat these relationship habits? Is there anything that you can think of like, I want to be more like this? Have you even broke it down yet? Like,
I don't.
You don't have to have all the answers.
No.
So this is a good place for you to start then. The next time you're hanging out by yourself, instead of thinking like, I don't get it. Like eating this delicious meal, I could be sharing it with someone.
Yeah.
And you made a comment earlier, I know I can treat you better than the last person.
Yeah.
You don't know that. What if the last person was a great guy and it just didn't work out? Because sometimes people don't work out.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, don't approach it from that angle. Instead of thinking all the wonderful things you do, you know those things, accept them, value yourself for those things. Start really focusing on the things that you don't do and try to implement something different. And maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're like, I thought it was this, but you're never going to know if you're doing the same things is my point.
Yeah.
As you switch things up, you're like, all right, now I'm being way meaner, right?
Yeah.
And so I need to find some place in between or change something else up. But don't keep doing the same thing because then you end up in the same spot, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a cool little thing that you can do when you're hanging out by yourself. What could I do differently? And that goes into everything else in life. If you can master it in who you are in a relationship, you can master it in who you are at your job. You can master it who you are in your friendships.
Yeah.
Your relationship with your children, your relationship with your actual, like your biological family, not just the person you're with.
Yeah.
And you just find yourself having better relationships. And that's where I'm at with it. And, and again, the old Will would be aggressive or like, you upset me, we're not cool.
Yeah.
But the newer version of me, I'm trying to really understand people. Why would they think that? And I don't let it bother me. If someone told me like, Will's a douchebag, like I wouldn't like go, it wouldn't ruin my day. But if I'm hanging out with him, I'd be like, well, why? Like, what made you?
Yeah.
What did I do to
what's
say
your
like,
reason? Yeah.
And then I would listen, not even like, oh, you're dumb. Like, as soon as
get defensive right away.
Well, you came out here and you joked about my friend's mom and he didn't take it very well. Now I know, like, oh, you know what? Like that, I could see how you took it that way. I didn't mean to. I joke about everyone's mom.
Yeah.
And I'm just making, I don't joke about moms, but I probably do. But I'm just using it as an example. Like you could, and then now I know and I understand and I have it. Now, whether I use it or not is up to me, but at least I have the information and I'm not just going around being like, that guy's an idiot. He doesn't like me. No, he doesn't like me because X, Y, and Z. I don't agree with it. I wasn't trying to be that way.
Yeah.
But I can see how he would see that. And I'm going to make sure I don't do those things around him because I actually like that guy and I want him to be my friend.
Yeah.
Like that would be a way more healthier way of approaching that than this guy just doesn't like me. I don't know. How many times you run into that? Well, I don't know. I did everything right. And they just don't like me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess there's no insight there, but that's, I know we're kind of rambling off about it, but that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Like what can I do differently and what can I change and be objective? I know it's hard. No one likes to hear bad things, but they're only, if you can accept that they're not, don't internalize and make it personal.
I think you would call it like, what's the wword? Construction.
Constructive criticism.
I was going to say constructual.
Criticize them.
Yeah.
No, that's really what it is. But you're doing it yourself. People can give out criticism to other people all day.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it to yourself, it's a little bit more difficult. But the more you practice it, it becomes a little bit of second nature, right? Mm-hmm. But the amount of calm that you can find when you are able to get to that place, like even just handling that guy at the graduation that way, like,
yeah,
you know, because you know me for a long time. Like, granted, people like that guy when I was that asshole that would fight, but I don't like that guy. I never liked him. I never liked doing those things. And if I have kids, I don't want them being like, well, dad beats up everyone. Why can't I? Yeah, well, I'll just beat up my brother and maybe I'll beat up dad one day. Like, I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
that never want your kids beating you up.
Yeah. And honestly, like anyone that thinks that that's like a comfortable thing, like I don't want to encourage that. Granted, there are times in life where you probably will have to fight. That wasn't one of them. Mm-hmm. But just being able to be poised and calm and just be like, all right, there's more at stake here than just this moment. And it's very easy to have your ego hurt. And if someone is a bigger guy, it's very easy to like for someone to be disrespectful or in my face and for me to go like, I'm just gonna like punch this guy because I'm probably gonna hurt them. Like I would hurt that guy. That's the easier thing. Instead, I did the harder thing, which is be calm and cool. And just know if things got to that point, I'd be willing to like handle the situation.
Yeah, if it escalated to that point, yeah.
Yeah, but the amount of calm you can find I would never have gotten to that place if I didn't do what I'm asking you to do.
Yeah.
Which is figure out, why do I get angry in the first place?
Yeah.
Like for a man to say I'm insecure about something is a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
But if you can do it and there's better outcomes at the end, wouldn't that be worth it? If you could do all this and it meant you're in a really healthy, happy relationship, wouldn't it be worth it?
Yeah. Yeah, it would. Yeah, I mean, I guess, just thinking about it right now, like, I mean, just, I will admit, like, like at night, like, usually at night, like it's, when I'm sitting at home, like, by myself or whatever, like it's usually like the hardest times for me. Cause there was at one point in my life where, you know, I was happy. Like I had somebody sitting next to me watching a movie, like watching a TV show, like that I was cooking for, like we had a good time. And you know, like I said, like at night, like when I'm watching a movie, like or whatever, even cooking, like it's hard for me because I miss that feeling. Like I miss like coming home from work and just telling somebody about my day. Cooking for somebody, watching movies, like laying down next to somebody, like I miss that. And I realized like I had that at one point and then it fell apart. But like I said, like I want
You're good.
I want that feeling again. Like, and maybe this is one of my flaws that you were asking me about, is that like I'm willing to be whatever somebody wants me to be just so I can have that.
But you weren't when you had it.
Yeah, I know.
So it's counterintuitive, but I get what you're saying, but I'm just calling you out on this so you can hear it. You weren't someone different when you had it, right? And I know what you're talking about. We don't have to get into it.
Yeah.
But so when you had that happy feeling, you were yourself. I know you were, for a fact. So in what world does it make sense for you to be that something different, to have it again when you can have it being yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's self-sabotage or if it's wanting something so badly that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. That could be a healthy thing, right? That's what drives athletes. That's what makes people better parents, better people. People in politics get up, like, you know what I mean? They rise to the top doing things like that. So I get it. There's a benefit to that feeling, but
because like I said, like when it comes to women, like I want to like show them who I am, who I can be. And like show them, like, I want to say be there for them. Because I know there's guys out there who aren't, like,
but that shouldn't be the reason why. Like, your motivation shouldn't be like because there's guys that are bad, because bad people are in relationships all the time.
Yeah. Right? No. Yeah. I know that.
Sure. Hitler had a wife.
Yeah, he did.
Probably loved her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He could not have.
I mean, yeah. Saddam had probably 17 wives or something.
Yes. And it didn't work out well for either of those guys. So I'm just saying, like, that shouldn't be your motivation, is because of that. You bring that up a lot, and I hear it. Like, I get what you're trying to say, but I think you do this thing to yourself where you feel like these women deserve you because you're not the other guy. And that's, as that may be true, that may not be the healthiest way to look at it. Right.
Yeah.
But I can honestly relate to that. When I was younger, and tell me if this is kind of what you're saying, right? When I was younger, I think it was in middle school, and there was this guy that was like the popular kid in middle school. And he was dating this girl, and the girl, I thought she was really cute. Then again, I was in middle school. I thought everyone was really cute. I was probably really cute too.
Right.
And I really liked her, and he was the most popular guy, and she was one of the most popular girls, and he wasn't very nice to her. And I remember thinking, like, I would treat her so much better than him. Yeah. Like I don't understand why she would do that. And it was so intense that I remember daydreaming, or even at night, like right before I went to bed, pretending. I used to imagine myself as that guy, like not even me. Like I was like, if my soul was in that guy's body,
him.
because then I would treat her so well, and she wouldn't even know it's me. It would be him still, because she deserves that.
Yeah,
and it's like a lover boy dreamer middle school kind of thing.
Yeah,
but what that really means, like as I grew up in life, is I didn't value myself, because in this daydream, I was picturing me as him, and it therefore sent this message to myself that the way I look isn't good enough, but the way I act is, right? And that's the wrong way to do it, right?
And that's another thing that I struggle with is my outward appearance. I feel like, oh, well, if she doesn't like me, then
it's because of that.
Yeah,
like, which also isn't true. Like again, I can name you some really like Macaulay Culkin dated Mila Kunis, and that guy looks like a goblin.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy.
And Mila Kunis is gorgeous. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sorry, Macaulay Culkin, if you're one of my 50 subscribers, I apologize. No, but you get what I'm saying. But I get you're onto something, because I'm on the same page as you. Like it does feel that way though, right?
Yeah.
But as someone who's traveled and been around a lot and done stuff, both single and in relationships, me and Laura have been on vacations where people hit on us. You know what I mean? So we've been hit on even since we've been in a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think there is types when people say that, or what they gravitate towards. You never had like a weird crush on like a celebrity or someone that like, what's your weirdest one where you're like, people may not like, I think Nicole Kidman's really hot, and everyone like, she's older now. And I think she's hotter now that she's older. Like I did like her when she was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. My God, I just think she's good looking. And people think that's weird. Laura thinks Will Ferrell's hot.
Yeah, I don't.
And so my point is that like it's everyone, there's someone that likes them, right? And so it doesn't matter. Like I think charisma has a lot to do with it. The personality, but not in the basic way that people say that. I mean, in the sense, like that's like a pageant. Like, what do you, I like a guy with personality? Right. You're not going to name any characteristics. No, he's just got to have one. So as long as he's alive, you'll date him.
Right. No, as long as he's breathing.
Not in the basics.
He really wants world peace.
Yeah. And I want to save dolphins. Isn't world peace kind of cover that?
Right.
No. Okay. But yeah, not in the basic sense of personality, but they want confidence. They want, even if it's false, like it. And I'm not saying to pretend to be someone you're not. But
you saying fake it till you make it?
Kind of, but kind of not. Like almost like
I've been told that.
Almost fake like you probably could be that, right? Like if you started faking it, you'll actually find parts of you that go like, oh, like this feels natural.
Yeah.
Like, so there is some confidence in there. I just had to fake it until I figured out what part of it is actually true to me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But I think people care about that stuff. But it's easy to think on the outside like, oh, it must be the way I look. Which sometimes maybe it is. Who cares? How many people are in the world? Maybe you're just not that person's dude, but like someone's really into you. I've seen crazy shows about stuff, man. These furries, like, sometimes like a really good looking girl, and she's into these like ginormous people who dress up as like bats and like donkeys and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yep, there's hope. We're gonna watch one after this.
Oh, really?
Like, see, Stefan, have you tried being a furry?
Right.
No, but it's not those things. It's because you can't control. I mean, you can control some things, right?
Yeah.
Grow your hair out, wear different clothes, whatever. But you mostly can control the way that you present yourself and the peace that you find. And I think that speaks volumes, man. I think that's what people really care about. People want those things that you're talking about, but they want to feel that you have them, not hear you say that you have them, kind of thing.
Yeah. But like I said, like I've also like proved that to the women, like that I'm not just all talk.
But did you say that? I'm going to prove it to you.
No.
I just get this vibe from you where you're trying to prove everyone that you're something. Like, what are you trying to prove?
I guess just everything that I just said.
I know. But you're like, because you said like, I can treat you better than the last person. Like I proved this. I've showed them this. Like I've told them, you know what I mean? And it's like,
well, yeah. Cause like I'm always hearing that women are all about actions instead of words. Like,
sure.
And I've done that with multiple women. Actions. Like I've not just been all talk and no walk. Like,
so build off that instead of focusing so much on what you've done. Like we talked about, like there's add to it. So keep doing those things. I'm not saying to stop being kind and the things that you're doing, but add to it. Maybe there's something more there. Maybe there's something different. Maybe you don't know. So add to that. So instead of like, you already know what you do good. So we're done talking about those things.
Yeah.
Start trying to focus on the things that you may need to change and change those. And then when they work, add that. And so you're just building up all these attributes. You know what I mean? And people will actually tell you what you are. You don't have to go tell these girls like, hey, I'm nice, I'm kind, I can treat you better. They will be telling you like, Stephanie, you're the most nicest, kindest person I've ever met. You treat me way better than my ex. By the way, the chicken is really good. And that's how it will go down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying though? It'll be the other way around where you will be reminded and you're like, oh wait, like, so glad you told me. I didn't even think of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So have you gotten complimented on something that you're like, have you ever gotten a compliment and you're like, oh, I guess?
Have I ever gotten a compliment?
At all? Does anyone like you, Stefan?
Yeah. Have
you ever gotten a compliment and you're like, I mean, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, I guess I kind of am. It's a weird feeling. I would list a few, but then that would just defeat the purpose of other people complimenting me. Yeah, people say I'm an awesome backflipper.
Right.
Really good at hedgehog walking. No, but
my handwriting is nice.
It's a cool feeling because you're like, yeah, I guess I am kind of like that. You know, I'll give a few without being unhumble. Like I get complimented sometimes on my ability to bring joy to a group. And then I recently got complimented by Daryl, who told me that he said, essentially he was saying, you're not just funny. You actually laugh at your own jokes. Yeah. He's like, and
it makes everybody else laugh.
And he said it brings, like, you could tell it's genuine. Like the way he gave me the compliment, I'm like, oh, I never even noticed that I do that. I obviously know that like I can entertain a crowd. Yeah. But I never saw it in that way, the way that he saw it. And that was a cool compliment because I'm like, oh, and it gives me the confidence to keep doing stuff like that. Yeah. Because I would have never thought about that. But that's what I mean by that. Sometimes you get these compliments where you're like, that means way more than trying to be that thing. Yeah. It means way more when you are something that you weren't aware of.
Okay.
That feels good.
Trying to think. Have I, other than like compliments of my cooking, like, no.
You are a good cook. And no, I don't want to be in a relationship with you before you ask.
Damn it.
There's no way you treat me better than Laura. I like that I can have these conversations with you, man, because it's not like, and if anyone's listening, like, damn, he's being pretty straight up with that guy. This is just how we talk. Man.
Yeah, this is how we've been for years. Like,
yeah, and that's what I wanted this to be, just a conversation where we can do that. But I appreciate that you're taking those parts because I care about you, man. I don't want you to feel the ways that you feel, and I know these good things, and I'm not going to go around telling other people about them because I think they will see them on their own. Yeah. But yeah, I think you'll be fine, man. Just ask for more numbers and addresses.
I guess that's I gotta add that.
Yeah, you'll be just fine, man. I feel like I had a thing I was gonna ask and it totally
slipped your mind.
Back here,
went out the window.
Was it on role models? If you love something, just set it free.
Set it free.
And if it doesn't work out, you just take it back. Take it back. But so what was I gonna tell you? Oh, dude, check this out. I want to tell this story because people for sure don't know it because it just ended. But this is how weird I am. And I don't have like, I'm like crazy stubborn. So I'm not drinking at all. And it's taken almost 3 weeks where I'm just going to like eat really healthy, work out and stuff because there's so many events that were happening recently that it wasn't over drinking, but it was like every day at one point, like a little bit. There's a graduation and then there was like a podcast and then there was like something else and then a friend's birthday. Like for whatever reason, I'm like, all right, this is overload and I need to like kind of detox and feel better. And I always do the things when I set those things, I always accomplish them because I'm really stubborn and I really get upset when I don't accomplish things. I take it pretty difficult. And so one of my...
well, that's a good thing, I guess.
It is. It could be a little unhealthy with me sometimes because I have a history of being depressed and you know what I mean? Like all that stuff. So I have to be really careful because I want to care enough to where it bothers me if I don't accomplish something, but not so much that it like makes me feel like a failure. Yeah. And so... I had this goal, and this is my third semester of school, and I wanted to get a 4.0. And I know it's super rare. It's not rare to get a 4.0. It's rare to graduate with a 4.0. It's really hard to do. And so when I looked that up, I'm like, I'm going to go for it. And so first semester, 4.0. Second semester, 4.0. This semester hits, and I have the hardest class in my life. The professor just like straight up like is giving me the hardest time. So 2 weeks into this semester, I'm like, there's no way I'm getting an A in this class. And it can't just be an A. It has to be over a 93. Yeah. So it has to be an A or an A plus. It can't be an A minus. Yeah. And my grades start slipping. This is how bad it got. It got so low. It was a 70.3. And if it gets below a C, my work won't even reimburse me. So wow. It went from 4.0 to I may have to pay for this out of pocket. And I was kind of sad. And I kind of not accepted, but I was like, you know what? Like this, because I reached out to him. I even lied a few times to like try to get extra credit points. And this guy just wasn't having it. He was super hard on me. Gave me the worst comments. Like,
what type of extra credit were you trying to?
I was trying to get a role.
Oh yeah,
in a special movie. No,
I was. Tell me you play a gay character.
No, I don't want to say it just in case. But I essentially like said there was like a tragedy in the family.
Oh.
And this did not faze him. He's like, yeah, no. Like,
wow.
No. And so nothing worked. And then I just started like, but stubborn will. Like, I'm just like, all right, like there's no. I started putting in so much time, and I slowly start creeping my grade back up. And so it's the end of the semester, and I brought it up to an 89%. Oh, and I'm like, wow, the fact that I even went from 70 to 89 was cool. But then it's the final paper of the year, and all I needed was to get a really high. If I got like a 96 to 100, which is really hard on that paper, essentially they were going to double that grade. It was a final exam, and then in a writing class, you also do a final portfolio. And they voted to not do one this year, so they're just going to double that grade.
So you'd get 192.
So if I no, not that's not how that works. But they're going to double the grade, and then that was like 25 to 30% of my semester grade.
Okay.
Which if I got a 96 or above on it, or somewhere around there, I'm doing my stupid math, which I didn't do well in, by the way. I'm like, I could still get my 4.0. So I went all out on the paper, and for like 4 days, like I'm refreshing, waiting for my grade, and I get the grade back, and I ended up getting a 99% on it. They doubled it. That brought my grade up in the class to like a 97%. So
Did you misspell your name, and that's why they didn't give you that?
That was my only points I missed.
You put one L instead of two.
Who is Willem? Like, damn it! I spelled my own name. And why did I put my birthday instead of the date the paper was? But no, I hit it,
just
man.
In case you wanted to know when my birthday was.
I was so happy, dude. Like late at night, and I was like, oh, I was like this, like again, accomplishing something very difficult. And just being stubborn as shit.
Relief.
So 3 semesters in, I still got that 4.0. I'm sure it will go away at some point, but thank you. Every semester, I'm going to lose my mind on it. And when it fails, I will be really bummed out for 12 to 24 hours, and I will move on. I promise myself that.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be checking your grades.
Thanks, man. But yeah, so that was my little story. I accomplished it. I feel good about it.
If you don't get good grades, you're grounded from the
I got the worst grades my whole life, but I skipped a lot of class. One class, I'll never forget. I'll tell his story straight up. In middle school, hilarious. I'll even give you his name. His name was Mr. Monsimer. Monsimer. He was a math teacher. And I wanted to play basketball 8th grade year, and I needed a good grade in his class. And I didn't get it. I got like a D or something. And I went up to him and like, hey, I can't play with this grade, man. I need like at least a B. Because I thought I would just like shoot high and maybe get a C. And he's like, okay.
So he gave you a B?
Played basketball that year.
Wait, is A on the table? Can we still do that?
I meant A plus,
right?
2 A's. But yeah, he
graduate me right now.
He just gave me the grade, and I played basketball.
Wow.
I'm like, damn. Again, just ask. I'm telling you, ask for phone numbers, man. I just asked for a grade and got it. Laura taught me that. All she does is ask, like wherever we go, she just asks, like, they're like, oh, it'll be an hour wait. Do you guys have anything available now? Let me check. Yeah, we'll get you right over here. I'm like, what?
What?
They just told us it was 45 minutes. Or like when we went to like.
So should I ask for like 6 numbers of their phone number instead of 7?
No, go for 10.
Go for 10.
Yeah. Okay, get the
for the area code and the
United States, right? I don't know.
The country number. Yeah, is that what it's called? Is that what they call it?
Country code, I think.
Country code?
I have no idea. +1, not just +1.
Yes.
But no, yeah, Laura just asked for stuff. And I mean, sometimes it's a no, but usually they're like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, all right. So that's my new thing. I just ask for stuff. So with that being said, could I have $100?
No.
Fine, I'll take 50. Oh man. But yeah, just ask questions, man.
Okay.
And ask for numbers.
Yeah. So I'll take that to the bank.
Yeah. Make it it's a large bank.
Yeah.
I was watching these bank robber.
I'm gonna go to the bank and tell them my friend Will told me to take this number over here.
I don't see the point of your story right now.
I don't either.
It's not going to get you anything. Besides, They're like, okay, where's your mask?
Right.
I was watching, there's this show, it's on Hulu now, but it used to be on a different channel. It's called I Almost Got Away With It. If you ever get bored, watch it. It's about a bunch of people that committed crimes and went on the run. Some of them got away with it for like years. And it's all them telling the story about how they almost got away with it. And a lot of them were bank robberies, and a lot of them were like 90s previous. Yeah. But apparently, like, these people would just walk into banks and just ask them for the money. Like, hey, like sometimes they wouldn't have a gun. They would just write it on a note and pass a note. And it said, put all the money in the bag or I'll kill you. And I guess like the bank's like policy at the time was like, just do it. It may still be that way, by the way. Don't go robbing banks, people.
Yeah.
But they would just hand them the money. And like a lot of these people, like that's what they would do.
Walk out.
They would just go around. Well, I mean, granted, they'll call it cops right after, so you have to get away from there. But a lot of them didn't even have weapons. And there was one that ordered a fake pair of arms and a mask. They called him the nice guy robber, or the pretty guy, the handsome man robber or something.
Handsome man robber.
He was pooping one day. This is very important.
Wow. And
he was looking at a magazine because this is before cell phones. And he saw in a magazine that you could order a mask that actually looks like a person, and it comes with the fake arms too. And so this guy ordered this through a magazine, waited a week probably for it to ship. And he put it on
7 business days.
And it, because of the arms, it had gloves, so he didn't have fingerprints, and it made him look like he had like different arms,
different complexion.
And it was well, and then it was a handsome, maybe a similar complexion, but either way, like it looked real. You know what I mean? It was weird.
Yeah. And
they show the actual thing, and he has a handsome guy mask, and he had put on a hat and glasses. You could, if you looked really close, you can tell it was a mask.
Yeah.
But with the glasses and the hat, you couldn't tell.
Can't tell.
And so he would walk in, and he would rob them, and he would run to the back, take off he's a totally different person. And he would go to the local bar and watch the cops like roll by looking for this handsome man.
Wow.
He was not handsome, so no one ever suspected him. And I'm like, God, how clever are these bank robbers, man?
Wow.
How would you rob with
women? Just put buy a mask.
Handsome guy. Like, dude,
that's what I've been missing.
Here's my key.
Right.
Put on the handsome mask. How would you rob a bank if you had to?
If I had to,
I feel like you use a musket.
A musket.
Yeah,
wow.
Like a musket kind of guy. Is that a freaking musket? Sorry, I'll just leave. My bad.
I'll roll a cannon into the door.
Do you guys even have a safe? Like, sir, this is Denny's. God damn it.
How would I rob a bank? I'll probably, and I was actually, since we're talking about robbing banks, I'd watch that movie 30 Minutes or Less.
I thought you were about to say I was going to rob a bank, and I changed my mind. This is how I was going to do it. So you're watching 30 Minutes or Less. That's a good movie, by the way.
Yeah. So
based off true events.
Which I found out recently. Mm-hmm. I did not know was true. But probably have like a fake bomb strapped to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I mean,
you got to think more than that. Why don't you use a real bomb?
A real bomb?
Yeah, just in case you get busted.
Just blow myself up.
What about a Roman candle? You think you can rob it?
Roman candle?
What would be the worst bank robbery of all time? Like, what would be the worst weapon to rob a bank with?
A Nerf gun?
A Nerf gun. But like something that could actually do some damage.
Some damage?
That would be silly.
Have you ever been shot by a Nerf gun?
Have you ever been shot by a Roman candle?
Yes, I have.
What would you do if you're the bank teller? Some guy came in, I swear to God, I'll light it. Would you just get, I think I would still give him the money. I'm like, oh man, I don't get paid enough for this, right? Man. I think I would just give him the money.
Yeah, they'd be like, why'd you give him the money? He was aiming it at my face. Yeah.
I want to burn my face, man.
It clearly says on the wrapper to not aim at people's face.
And it was December. How do you even get that Roman candle? Right. I guess New Year's would be around the corner. Damn it, should have picked a better month. It was May.
It was May.
Who has a Roman candle in May? This guy was planning this out. He's dangerous. He was wearing oven mitts.
Oven mitts.
What else would be dumb besides a Roman candle? I feel like what about like a cheese grater?
A cheese grater?
Have you ever nicked your finger on a cheese grater? Like an actual cheese grater?
Yeah.
That shit hurts, dude.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't give you the money, you could just like grade their face.
What about like a... Now I'm just starting to think of kitchen appliances.
Yeah. What about a knife? That'd be genius. What a spork.
All right. What about a microwave? Well, carrying a big hole in the microwave.
What would be the worst thing you could rob a bank with, but that still might work? Like, because I think the Roman candle would work.
Still get away with.
or a grater.
A grater?
I feel like they would still give you the money. If it was like a really big cheese grater and you looked like angry as shit, like and just be like, and you're really close to an iron.
An iron?
You're all, hold on while this warms up.
I gotta wait for the steam to come out.
Solar powered. This thing's hot. Just try. You don't want to mess with me. Just like an iron.
Wow.
Just waiting for it to heat up. Get closer. You're too far. You're not in the wire distance.
George Foreman grill.
George, yeah. Another thing that needs to be plugged in. What about a blow dryer? All right, we're done with this conversation. Me and you would be the world's worst bank robbers.
Right. Maybe we could get our own Netflix show out of it.
I feel like we just made one up. That could be a funny, but it'd be a comedy. It can be a real one.
Netflix, if you're watching one of the...
Netflix will make a show out of anything, man. They have like the wildest stuff there. Netflix is like, yeah, sure. I feel like it's just one high guy. What? That is crazy. Yes, I'll give you $1 million.
Yeah.
When can you start filming? And can I be in it?
Yeah.
Also, is it lunch break yet? I am starving. Smoked a lot of weed.
Yeah. Well, do we have donuts?
Oh man.
Reach.
Yeah. What are you gonna do for the summer? Now that it's summertime.
Summertime.
Things will start opening up for sure, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Movies, right, are gonna be opening back up?
Well,
what are you excited for?
I think the movie theaters are already open. Actually, I at least know Tell Shore 12 is.
They are. You're right. Because Laura asked me for it. My only issue is there's only like 4 movies playing, and I'd already seen like 2 of them, and so I didn't want to go just to go. At this point, if there are no good movies, I'm just gonna
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. I guess I'll go see that again. Right. Morgan Freeman looks the same, so it'll feel like a new movie. Yeah. It never ages.
This summer, one thing I that's just started now is I'm Annalise's soccer just started up, so that'll be kind of going through the summer.
You'll have like sports with the kids.
Yeah, sports. Which actually I signed up to be the game manager of her team.
Is that like a coach?
No, it's not a coach. So like,
I feel like someone didn't want to tell you couldn't be the coach. Yeah, you could be like the game manager. That sounds important. I'm in.
Right.
What is the game manager?
So the game manager is they ref the soccer games.
So wouldn't you just be a referee?
Yeah, they're that's why I'm kind of confused why they wouldn't say, "Oh, you're the referee for the team," but the city calls them game managers.
Someone let you down softly. They felt bad.
I got
That's
like the shirt and everything.
What can I do to help around here? And they're like, you could hand out these pencils. Yeah, pencil hander outer. It's like really important, right? I feel like you had one of those moments.
Yeah,
you could be the game person manager. You're like, yeah, that sounds important.
Yeah,
what's the salary?
That's
for
that? What I guess the Las Cruces youth that's what they call them.
So is it just for the team that your kiddos are on, or like all of them?
No, it's just for the team that Annalise is on. So like her
sounds like they didn't want to hire a ref. Some tax cuts or
I know.
The COVID cuts.
I think that's what it is. The city's trying to save money on paying actual referees.
Someone sold you. How much money are you making?
I'm a volunteer, so I'm not making any money.
That's how they got you.
Yeah.
It'll be it's for charity.
Well, I originally signed up because last week they said the original terms like for the games is they were only going to allow 1 spectator per player. So like they weren't even going to allow siblings to go. Like it was just one sole person per player.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that I would sign up as this game manager. God, you make me feel so bad saying it now.
Because it's not a real thing, man.
So I figured
game manager is what they call the quarterbacks in the NFL that like just don't lose games.
They carry all the balls.
That's what they say about Tom Brady. He's just a game manager. He's not a really good quarterback.
But so I thought that I would sign up to fulfill this position. so that they wouldn't count me as a spectator.
I guess it's pretty smart.
So they said that, game managers, they won't count as a spectator for the player because we're refereeing the game. So they would still allow, so Daniela would be able to come still.
Yeah.
So that was originally why I signed up to be the game manager. Then
it's probably a good time to be a ref anyways, because there's no people in the crowd. So then no parents are going to yell at you.
Okay. So
mess up the call.
A day later, I find out that the city changed them. So now they're allowing.
Oh, but you still got stuck doing the volunteer.
Yes, I got stuck in this position that I'm in. They're now allowing 75 spectators per team.
Yeah, so you got worked, man.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe they meant gay manager. Like, oh, you're not with that girl? Do you want to be the game manager? Right. Is that how it went down? That's not your girlfriend?
No.
Would you like to be the game manager?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Bro, this is a weird referee shirt.
A day later, they changed it to 75 spectators per team. That everybody just has to. There's still the 6 foot social distancing,
even the soccer players. Why can't I get any steals?
Right.
That game manager keeps yelling at me every time I get within 6 feet.
Nobody can take the ball from this one person.
He just scores. The guy's like 12 points.
Yeah.
A lot.
So, but last weekend I refereed her soccer game.
How was it? Like, in all seriousness, how
was
it?
It was actually pretty fun.
Do you know enough about soccer to ref? Be honest.
No, I don't.
So what do? You just make up calls?
Honestly, you just chase around.
Aren't you a little biased too? Like what? Like, aren't you gonna like? That's like if they let Greg Popovich ref the Spurs games.
No,
they would never lose a game.
No, well, like you don't like you call like fouls like or
is there fouls in soccer?
I don't know. What do they call penalties?
Like a card, right? Do you have cards?
No, we don't have cards.
So what did you just say? Like,
so
cut it out.
Pretty much reffing a 7-year-old soccer game is just chasing them around. When the ball goes out of bounds, you blow your whistle.
I see what you're saying. I'm making it a bigger thing than it is.
Yeah, you really are, and I'm disappointed.
I'm just saying,
in
man.
You right now.
I was excited for you. Then your story went south. You slowly let the world also be refs.
Yeah. So it's basically just grabbing the ball when it goes out of bounds and just placing it. And I mean, they're young, like the kids, everybody just goes around the soccer ball and they're like kicking each other. And so like there's not really like much you have to learn about it. Honestly.
I reffed a basketball league when I was in high school. I reffed a high school basketball league, one of the summer leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually talking to Coach Benji about it on the last podcast. But that was difficult because like I didn't know all the rules. That's why I was asking. Yeah. And I played basketball, but I still like everyone thinks they know, but they only know when it gets repeated to them.
Yeah.
Like the rule.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I knew that. But like you're not there like figuring out. So I had some bad calls. I actually like didn't know how to call fouls. And I'm reffing the other guys. So they get mad. They're like, Will is the worst fucking ref and
yeah.
And I'm like just trying to figure it out. Like, but it was bad. Like, so then I went hard the other direction and everything was a foul. Like I just did it. I looked at him.
Right.
I'm gonna cut it out, man. Probably the worst ref of all time. But it makes you realize when you're in that moment how vulnerable. Like you're like, I don't know any of this stuff. I should probably stop saying I do. But that's how it is with fighting. I remember like everyone always thinks they know what they would do, right? Mm-hmm. You ever watch someone that watches like UFC but doesn't really understand like the nuances of grappling and stuff? They always have an idea. Josh does this all the time, my little brother. Yeah. Where he's like, I would just slam him. I'm like, yeah, okay. Then why doesn't everyone like they watch like, oh, see what I would do is I'd push really hard off and then I'd elbow him and then he'd be done.
Yeah.
And then, or like when they're pinned on the ground, I would just like squeeze and bust out of there. I'm like, that's not how it works, man. Everyone always thinks they know what they would do.
Yeah.
But then when you're in there training or doing it,
Yeah,
like you realize
completely different.
You're exhausted. Then like the other guys leverage on you.
Yeah.
I mean, just different things.
Yeah.
Same thing with boxers. Like until you're in there sparring,
Yeah.
you don't realize how hard it is to keep your hands up for 12 rounds. I mean, or however minutes that equals.
Yeah.
Probably couldn't even do it for 6. So when you're watching the fights and the fighter drops their hands, which in MMA happens all the time because you should drop your hands. You're looking for knees, kicks, takedowns, things like that. But in boxing, when people drop their hands, you always get the people like, what? Put them up. That guy's exhausted, man. You don't know how tired he is. He's been throwing punches and missing the whole time. And like his arms are burnt out.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to watch and just be like, I know what I would do.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming reffing. Here's the rule. Whoever complains the most of these games should ref the next game.
Yeah.
Just so they can like be forced to like have to be the one that does it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, like I don't know much really about soccer. Like the one thing I did learn is that like when there's a like a rectangle like painted on the ground in front of the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And when the ball goes out, like on the outside of that line, it's a corner kick. I did learn that.
It's a corner kick?
Yeah. I guess when you put the ball in the corner of the field and they...
Is that just what you call it? Or is that like extra points or something?
No.
Corner kick. He nailed it. 5 extra points. I used to, when I sold cars at Nissan, the majority of my coworkers were Mexican, but like from Mexico, and then moved to El Paso and would commute to work in here in Las Cruces.
Yeah.
And they were addicted to soccer. And so in the lunchroom, we had a TV up and it was always on Impractical Jokers or soccer. Like that's all we ever watched. And these guys got me into soccer because I'm naturally into sports. I'm like, we're in here hanging out. I have like an hour or whatever, however long I'd be in there. Yeah. And I remember it started off with me making fun of soccer. I'm like, this is stupid. Like it's 0-0. Why is the clock going backwards? Like, like the whole thing.
Why are they counting up? Like,
whatever it was. It was like, there you go. It was going forward. Whatever, you know what I meant. Yeah. And anyways, the whole thing was wrong. And they were yelling stuff at the TV. I'm like, they're like, oh, counter left inverted thing. Like, and I'm like, what are you? It's just some guy like trying to figure out where the ball's at. Right. Half of them don't even like ever touch the ball. Like one guy never even like, I think he saw the ball once, but he like wasn't even part of it. And so then they started breaking down like the rules because I didn't know. I'm like, that's backcourt. Like when they kick it backcourt, it's totally illegal. You can't kick the ball backwards. And apparently that's like it's smart to kick it back there sometimes. Yeah. And I never understood that. I'm like, what? Why does it make sense to go away from anyways, I got really into it and they started teaching me to the point where I started learning some of the rules. Yeah. Which if you ask me now, I probably forgot them already. But on my lunch break, we'd be watching.
Well, you started playing FIFA, didn't you?
No, I never got into that game.
I thought you did.
I played a few times, but I never played it regularly. Oh, okay. But it got so crazy that on that same lunch break, like Impractical Jokers would be on. I'm like, is there like a soccer game on or something? Like, did we check? Are we missing? And I would like watch soccer a lot.
You're like, what's the hell happening?
Like a whole year.
What the hell's happening to me?
Like I don't like. I started figuring it out, but it makes more sense once you watch it. Yeah. But never been something. But most popular sport in the world.
I know.
But yeah. That's slang for it is what it is.
Faux show.
All right, my brother. You ready to wrap this up?
Yes, sir.
Almost an hour and a half. Appreciate you coming back.
Is that what it's at?
Yeah, we're an hour and 25.
Oh, yes, we are.
By the time I chop it up and add stuff, it'll be longer or shorter. I don't know yet.
Probably shorter.
I appreciate you coming in, man. I'll see you in a year. No, I'm just kidding. That's our length of time to do a podcast, but only because of COVID. We'll do one again, man. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Stefan Harris, ladies and gentlemen.
Glad this one's going to work out.
Yeah, don't say things like that.